Isn't this a handsome fellow? This is Echeveria agavoides Martin's hybrid. I thought I'd share some tips on how to grow him and keep him healthy. Join me.
Liquid Amber Girl Gardening.
All of the Echeverias in the agavoides family are really recognizable because they have these super broad leaves that come to a sharp point, making that beautiful star shape. And actually, the specific epithet agavoides means agave-like. And so whoever gave these their names originally, they believed these to look very similar to an agave. No wonder I was attracted to it. It's just a beautiful plant. If you live in zones 9, 10, or 11, you can grow this plant outside. They look wonderful in rock gardens. Their shape really contrasts with rocks and their bright green color as well. This cultivar especially has that real pretty lime green and that beautiful star shape. It would really look lovely outside. If you are like me and you live in a zone that is not 9, 10, or 11, then you have to probably keep this plant in a planter and then bring it in when things start getting close to frost. If you have a Martin's hybrid Echeveria or any Echeveria agavoides, do know that these like a lot less water in the wintertime. That's true of most succulents, but the agavoides in particular really don't want to have a lot of moisture in the wintertime. I kind of treat them along the same lines as my euphorbias, whereas I only water usually about one time a month during the winter, just very sparingly, because I don't want to have any damage when I'm trying to winter these plants over. And then if you want to have a nice, because this is a beautiful size, it's a big, huge rosette. And if you want to have, something that has that big, beautiful size like this, then increasing their water as soon as February 1st hits, it really helps them. That's what helps them get that big, massive size. So you can have kind of deeper waterings even than I do for some of my other succulents, actually. And that'll help them get that nice, tight rosette shape and also have that big, huge, it's as wide across as my hand from thumb to middle finger. So it's really got a good size. While we're talking about growing this as a sizable Echeveria, these can actually get all the way up to 12 inches across. And these can grow from 12 to 18 inches tall. So they can form a really impressive, really beautiful rosette, which again is why they look so striking if you have an arrangement and you want to have a big center rosette and then lots of pretty stuff around the edges like this one, or if you're able to have it in your landscape. Just think how beautiful 3 or 5 of those would look right next to each other when they're that sizable. Just absolutely stunning. And those red, look at the red tips on this. They're just, they look like they've been painted on. They're just so perfect. So one way to help these plants keep their really nice shape and color is to give them appropriate light. Martin's hybrid needs to have really bright light. It can take full sun. So if you are not keeping it under grow lights, or if you are not growing it outside, at least during your warm weather, then it's going to need a really, really, really bright light in the house. So if you can give it, like a west-facing window where it actually has some sunlight touching it during the day, that would probably help it get through as well as possible. And then, of course, always when you water your succulents, no matter what plant it is, this or any of them, I always rotate the container a quarter turn so that whatever growing is being put on, that it will grow evenly and not kind of like reach one direction or another. That helps to keep the plants to have a nicer shape, especially when you're growing them in containers inside. I did want to talk about whether or not this plant is safe if you have children or pets who like to eat plants in your home, and it is. These echeverias are not considered to be poisonous to animals or to humans. So it would be a safe one to have in the house unless you've purchased one from one of those big box stores that has been painted. So if you look at the shape of this, And actually, this is another one of the plants that they use, except usually a bigger one, the zebra haworthia. This is a variegated one, but anyway, if you have a plant that is a succulent plant and it's like purple or really bright yellow or pink, obviously that is not its natural color, or maybe that's not obvious, I don't know, but it's not. They've been painted, and probably your plant will die unless you are able to very, very carefully remove the paint from the leaves of your plant. It just can't live like that. Liz and Hans did a video, I think, where they were able to remove the paint from the leaves of an Echeveria that they rescued from one of those. And so if you have that, you know, the paint obviously would not be safe for your animals or for young children. And if you're not aware that those are painted, maybe, you know, you didn't know that. So be sure to get that plant, if it's painted, up and away from where children or your pets can reach it. And if you want to save your plant, you're going to probably have to put in a pretty big effort. And I hope that you can, because I hate to see those poor plants treated in that way. It's basically just a death sentence for something that is so beautiful. But I don't want to end on that negative note. Let's just look at how beautiful this plant is and just appreciate it. And I hope you all have a wonderful week. I hope this video is helpful to you. We'll see you in the next one.